Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Coach Shaun from Life Coach Philippines, and this is coaching for sane parenting. This coaching conversation are for parents with teenage children who are wanting to create a mentally fit environment at home. And my mission, I am on a mission to help 1 million parents create a mentally fit ecology at home so that they can have a peaceful and harmonious relationship. And thank you for joining me live today. Please leave your digital footprints by letting us know where you are presently as of today. It's a Thursday morning. I hope you're having a great week so far by far, and your day is awesome. If maybe you hadn't had breakfast yet, or if you're still thinking about what to eat for brunch since it's 10 a.m. already, drop by or order at the Cup Coffee Republic. They have a bagel there that's so sumptuous that you're gonna enjoy that. I remember a time when I ordered that before, and it's something that it's just a feeling that you get that energy within eating that bagel. So if you want to stay healthy, that bagel would help you. Just so drop by or message or look for the Cup Coffee Republic in Facebook. You'll see it there. Then just order, or you can contact Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661. If you're watching me today, please do tag a friend and circulate this video so that we can help reach individuals who might be in need of what I will be sharing to you this morning. Share this to parents, share this to future parents. Maybe you know someone who's planning to get married anytime soon and wants to have an idea already on how to plan out their year, as they progress. Do share this to them. You may also give a shout out to people who want to greet. You want to greet and reach out for some inspiring message, and send a message out in there so we can connect with more people in the digital space. And if you're watching this on a replay, please type in there hashtag replay. And I'm streaming via FB page and Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel, Coach AI Connect. And if you are new to the platform, please like, follow, and subscribe to the page. All right. So today I'm going to talk about the 10 active life skills your children need today. I think this is one of the greatest challenges of parents is how do we teach, or what do we teach our children for them to be successful in the life that they have, a relationship that they have, the career that they will have in the future. This is one of the things that I've also started to think about as I journeyed along in my fatherhood and as a parent. And my hope is I would be able to share to you what are the things that I've started to realize and work on as I progress in the the parenting hat. All right. So if this is the first time you're joining me, if this is the first time you're watching me, is this is the first time you're seeing this face, let me briefly introduce myself. I am Coach Shaun. I am from Pasig City. Excuse me, let me just fix this. Where is that? There you go. I am from Pasig City, and my area of focus is in the area of self-leadership. And self-leadership is our ability to be intentional in the way we feel and the way we think and the way we respond. And this is the things that I've been working on for the last 3 years of becoming a certified life coach on my self-leadership skills. And you would think, coach, I've been in the corporate world for X number of time. I've been a leader. I've been leading teams and what have you. I've been a leader. It brought me success and what have you. Well, self-leadership talks about you specifically. It's not about other people. It's not your team. It's not your supervisor. It's not your manager. But it's specifically who you are as a person. And when you're able to have a deeper understanding of who you are, how you think about things, how you process things, how you respond to certain conversations, how you respond when you're pressured, how you respond where things are not going well for you. That is what is called self leadership, because it's being intentional about the kind of experiences, the kind of relationship, and the kind of success that you want to create for yourself and also for the people around you. And self leadership is not self serving. Self leadership talks about how you can help others in the process, because you influence others, you impact others in the process when you have conversations, when you create relationship. But if you are intentional with that the kind of relationship that you have in conversation and the results and experiences that you have, that just changes the way you see yourself and also the way that you see other people. All right. Okay, I've been a father since 19 years. It's 19 years from now. So you're asking, who is this person talking about parenting? And why is this a person that I need to listen to? Well, I've been a parent for 19 years. I started early. I was a parent when I was 19 years old. So I started very, very in my early of my life in parenting and in fatherhood. And I've realized that one of the challenge of being a parent is there's no manual for how to be a parent. Even if you read a lot of books, if you read a lot of contents in the internet, if you read a lot of different things in the internet, there's not just a one size fit all book that would allow you to have a deeper understanding of how your children work. And that is what I'm learning. That's what I've learned, and that's what I'm sharing to you. So at least you can get some piece and nuggets in here, some wisdom that you can utilize. Of course, some of the things that I'm sharing to you might not work for you. Some of the things might work. Again, you need to practice, you need to test it, you need to be able to put it in the space of seeing if it will work for you, yes or no. Because again, different children have different ways of looking at things. One is not the same than the other. You are not your children is not you, and my children is not your children. So you cannot compare everyone. So that is what I'm teaching you here on the options that you have, so that you can practice in the next 14 days or the next 30 days and see the results that you have. Uh, I've learned this. I have a daughter now who's 19 years old, and my son is 15 years old. Been in a space in which my children are not, emotionally invested in me, and I'm not emotionally invested with them. It's more of transactional connection, transactional relationship. Yeah, in the workplace, as most often than not, every conversation that we have there is transactional, where we need something from them, we ask them, they do it, they send it to us, and that's it. We'll go home. But in relationship, specifically for your family, it needs to be relational. Relational means that you connect with the individual. Pardon for the noise and my dogs out there. That is what will happen and what you need to do when you're doing relational connection, because relational connection is going deeply in the relationship, getting to know more about their life, their world, and the things that they do in life, so that you can have that relationship and connection. And what I do, I help parents have a deeper understanding of themselves so that they may understand their children. That's what I'm teaching you right now. And that's my hope in the future. If you are single, if you're watching this and you want to be able to, help other people as well in a coaching perspective, this is where you can really take advantage of and helping others as in a parenting skill. All right. So for those who's joining, maraming salamat. Coach Tin is my better half is here. Ayan, si Coach Tin, ang asawa ko po for we've been married now also for 19 years now. Yan, matagal na di pala kaming married. And Coach Nilo, maraming salamat for joining me. Coach Candy, Coach Duhana, congratulations for graduating as a professional life coach already. Maraming salamat, and thank you for trusting us with all of the things in your journey. And we hope that as we continue with our journey in our partnership, tuloy-tuloy tayo in helping others in, the parents and also the individuals out there. All right. So if you want to learn more about parenting, if this is something that you wanna, you wanna hone, you wanna develop, you wanna have a deeper understanding, you can join me at my group. It's called Effective Parenting Partnership. It's a partnership because in parenting, it's not really just a one-way street. It's a two-way street in which we are partnering with our children for them to be able to fulfill their dreams and their desires. And partnership means that they need to start expressing themselves. And as a partner, you also need to start expressing yourself. And that is one of the biggest challenge of parents, is their inability to accept feedback and to give feedback, because there are tensions, there are misunderstanding, there's an disagreement in there. But if you're able to change the way that you see parenting, I tell you, it's just a wonderful feeling that you're able to have that conversation with your children, that powerful connection with your children, that moment in which you can just be silent and just listening to the words that they utter. I tell you, that's the most powerful experience that I have seen and have felt, and that is something that you want to strengthen and want to hone, join in there. Just put in the there are questions in there. Just make sure you answer it so that I can approve your request. Now, if you are a man, and if you want to live an inspired fidelity, you want to be able to live in fidelity with God, with yourself, with your relationship, with your work, with your parents. You just want to have a peaceful and harmonious relationship in synergy, and also have a meaningful and fulfilling life. Join me in my page. This is a page that I created for men out there who wants to start expressing themselves, who wants to be themselves, who wants to be sincere about what they're saying, and how they can start working together to improve the way of life. At times as men, we get to be stereotyped of we need to be strong, we need to problem solve, we need not to cry, we need not to be emotional, and these different things that's not allowing us to express ourselves and be the human being that we are born to be, or we are, um, designed to be in this world. And if we're able to get out a little bit, little by little, we'll be more comfortable sharing our story, sharing our passion, sharing the things that we love. And that is where I want to help men, because men, I tell you, it's critical for men to start really expressing themselves, because it helps a lot with their children, and making sure that the children become more confident, more, they see themselves clearly, and they can express themselves in different ways so that they can be successful in their career. And also, if you want to stay connected with me on a personal level, feel free to add me, Sean Chong Joya. That is my family. That's my wife and my two kids out there. We're at D Cup Coffee Republic. And again, if you want to visit D Cup Coffee Republic, the home of certified life coaches, and you want to order bagel, come on, order bagel. The food is great in there. You can order some coffee in there as well, and some beverages. Just connect with Coach yourself. Not sure if he's... Oh, Coach Candy is here. You can message Coach Candy for your orders. If you're not here in Metro Manila, feel free to message still Coach Candy, and, order there and send someone to a friend here in the Metro Manila. We're offering delivery services as well, with some love notes in there, so you can, you can bless other people. All right. So let me share. Let me continue and share to you this story. This is a picture, as I've said a while ago. This is at the Cup Coffee Republic, and one of the things that we're doing here is we're having a conversation, well, with our children. And this image is special to me because I am not the typical guy. Just looking at me, right? I'm not the typical guy who would talk to my children openly. Most of my conversations with my children are transactional. This was before I became a certified life coach. I would ask them how they are at school, how are their grades, how are their friends, what do they want to eat, have they eaten already, how much time do they sleep, and these are the things that I ask with them. And that doesn't really allow me to have a deeper connection with my children, so I can support them. Because the stereotype, or the way that I was born, or I was raised by my parents, is as a father, as a man, I need to be good at my grades at school, find a good school, of course, find a good college degree, graduate, find work, buy a car, buy a house, maybe have a business, retire, buy a farm, and I die. So that is my, journey before. And that was my mindset. And as I progressed and I became a life coach 3 years ago, I've realized that there's a lot of things lacking in my life in the areas of my relationship. My career was working, 2 to 3 years getting promoted, which was my goal as of the before 14 years in the call center industry. And I landed the directorship role in there that allowed me to provide the kind of lifestyle that I can give to my children and to my family. But unfortunately, there was lacking depth in there, because I was trying to understand, is this really the life for me? Like, have you ever experienced a moment in which you know that you're successful in your career? You know in your heart that you're okay with your relationship. You know that when you decide to travel, when you decide to buy things, when you decide to do this, you would be able to do it. But every time you're able to achieve that, there seems to be a missing piece somewhere in there. And the biggest one for me is the lack of connection to my children. And this is where I invested most of my time in strengthening my relationship with my wife, strengthening my relationship with my children, and strengthening my relationship with myself to God. Because all of those things I was not able to find in my corporate job, in my work. And discovering that just allowed me to expand my horizon and be more intentional about what I teach to my children. Rather than just telling them what to do, I'm asking them what they want to do so I can guide them as they journey along. Parents are the powerful models. They are coaches, they are mentors, and educators of their children to develop life skills. Like as a parent, how intentional are you? And Coach Nords is teaching this intentional living. How intentional are you with what you're teaching to your children? When you are, role model means that they look up to you, they mirror you. When you are behaving and speaking in ways, when you are at home and your child is looking at you, and at times you don't look at them, but they look at you, how are you standing up as a role model? Are you standing up as someone, if you really reflect on yourself and who you are right now and how you're behaving and you're thinking, is that the kind of role that you want to instill to your children? And are you coaching your children? And coaching is not telling them what to do, that's advising. Coaching is asking your children how they feel about their experiences. What do they want to achieve in their life? What kind of relationship do you want to create? That is coaching. And in mentoring, it talks about sharing experiences. It's sharing experiences to your children. It's not telling them what to do. It's telling them that, hey, when I was at your age, these were the kind of experiences that I have. This is what I've learned. This is what I've realized. And this is what I've gathered. And these are the things that I am implementing in my life. So that is mentoring. Then eventually you go back into coaching and to ask them, what is your experience? How have you experienced these things? And what are the things that you can develop? And you are an educator as well because you need to teach your children the things, the principles, the wisdom, the knowledge, and all of these different things for them to be successful and develop their life skills. When you're teaching them, this spells a difference between surviving and thriving in their life. Because when you're able to be models, you're able to be coaches, you're able to be mentors and educator, that will spell the difference of your children to be surviving and thriving. And I think for most of you who's joining me today, you've experienced a life of survival. I mean, I'm not exempted. I have stages in my life that I was surviving. That things are not going well. Things were not going smoothly. Things were, just not really what you wanted and what you expected. But when you're able to do all of these things, and I tell you, life coaching would allow you to do that, it just gives you that peace into your heart that your children, as they continue to grow, as you continue to live, you would know that when it's time for them to go, they have the capacity, they have the knowledge, they have the skill, and they have the wisdom for them to be successful in their life. That is what I'm teaching you. Coach Rizal, maraming salamat. Thank you for joining me. Coach Marife, thank you for joining. Annie, maraming salamat. Thank you for joining me this morning. So, I'm going to give you 10 active life skills that you can start, reflecting on and thinking about, and how you can start helping your children train all of these things. Um, These are the things that I have hope when I started as a parent, when I was 19 years old, na natutunan ko na, that I'll be able to implement. But I've progressed. I've realized that these are the things that the core life skills that you can teach your children. But of course, there's more life skills that you can teach. For me, has been working so far. This is my area of focus for my children. And, my hope is you could get one out of this 10 and practice it in the next 30 days. So you can develop your children and they can be more confident and courageous on all of the things that we do. All right. So, as Coach Nord is saying, how intentional are you? Be intentional in this moment. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'll talk to you about life skills. And let's begin. 10 active life skills your children need today. Number one is, of course, for me, the most important one is social skills. Social skills is being able to say please, say thank you. When someone helps you, saying thank you. Yeah, and like Coach Rizal and Coach Joanna said, thank you for joining us. Yeah, and thank you. Coach Lynn has also shared that, and Coach Tin. Yeah, saying thank you. When you're making requests from someone, you say thank you. Simple thank you, a simple gesture, or maybe saying hello to someone. You know how powerful saying hello is to your children. Like when you wake up in the morning, you just say hello to them, or your good morning, hey, how's your day? It's just a powerful experience. Even if your child has still have that what you call that, a muta. I don't know what it's called in English. They're still sleepy and a little bit grumpy, and you say hello. It just changes the mood. And social life skills also teaches in taking turns and being able to win and lose graciously. Win and lose graciously. At time I realize how this world has created a space or a environment which is competition is natural. That you need to compete with someone. Why do you compete with someone in the first place? I've always I've learned that for individuals, we need to be in synergy with each other because my strength is different when your strength and your strength is different in mine. And if we allow our children to learn of these things and the social skills and understanding how they're able to connect with people, taking turns, not being able to be competitive in there, but being more in synergy because you want the person to learn and you want to learn yourself as well. So social skills is what you can start teaching, as simple as reminding your children and asking them. Let's say, for example, they forget to say thank you. Just ask them, like, what do you need to say when someone has helped you? And you don't have to tell them, hey, say thank you when someone your request was satisfied. Ask them. I tell you, it works wondrously in seeing the children become matured and become more respectful. Number two is effective communication and conflict management. There. Being able to expressively, sincerely communicate their ideas, communicate their needs and opinions, making assertive requests, not passive or aggressive requests. Maybe you experience a time in which your children are aggressively requesting something for you, or maybe it's your spouse requesting something. Being assertive, it's a win-win situation. Compromising and negotiating and being tactful. So these are the effective communication and conflict management skills that every one of us need. Like, when was the last time that you heard your children, you know, ask, talk to you about their needs and their opinions without asking them? And when was the last time you experienced that? It's wonderful because when your children starts communicating with you, sharing their ideas to you and what they do, and you start listening, it's just a wonderful feeling because you know that whatever happens when your children, experience some not so great things, you are confident that they would go through you, they would talk to you, and they would share to you their experiences because they know they would understand or you would understand them. So that is effective communication and conflict management. And how do you do it? Well, listen more than speaking. Because when you listen more, you hear more. When you speak more, I mean, it's not going to help your children. Number three is compassion towards others. Showing concern and helping others and being empathetic. I think it was 5 years ago or more than that, maybe. Coach Tin did this initiative that every Christmas, every holiday, we would go out. Of course, we would cook food first at home. So that's a opportunity for bonding time. And we would go out and give food in the streets. And the intention there is to educate the children to have a deeper appreciation and understanding about what they have. Because kids this day are so taken care of that they haven't experienced what we experienced before growing up. The heartaches, the challenges, the pains, going to school that your slippers are broken, you need to put a wire in there just to make sure it comes together, that doesn't break. So being able to allow the children to see things in a different perspective makes them more empathetic and compassionate and also humble enough to be appreciative about what they have rather than looking at the things that they don't have. So teach them compassion towards others. And when you do that, it means mirroring. It means, labeling those things that you're doing so that children understand. Like, how are you compassionate with your spouse? It's a very good example that you can show how your children would learn. Number four, problem solving. Do you ever have you ever talked to a parent who is the one solving their children's problem for themselves? Like it's a never-ending barrage of do this, and that, and that, and that, and your children just looks at you and just don't want to talk to you. And worse, you are an avoid at all cost conversation. Help them solve their problems. Help them by asking them questions so that they can find out the information to understand to solve a problem. Don't solve a problem for them. What happens is we get too fixated with us solving the problems because in reality, we get to feel a sense of comfort or a sense of fulfillment when we're able to solve our children's problem. But how about your problems? Who's solving them? Remember, you cannot give what you don't have. So help your children, gain a deeper understanding of how they can solve their problems. Because that one would allow them to be more independent and peaceful in everything that they do. Of course, what I forget at times is self-care. Now, I put in here washing hands, cleaning teeth, using toilet, using sanitary aids, and what have you. Now, if you see this, for most often than not, is the physical self-care. I want to add in here as well your personal self-care. Like, how do you care for yourself? And Coach Candy would be able to, Coach Candy is the one teaching self-care. How do you care for yourself? How do you care for your mental health? How do you care for your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional health? Are you intentional with taking care of these areas? Oftentimes we get too focused on our physical health, and this is something that we're missing, that the mental health needs to be managed too. Yeah, Coach Henry said it's mental fitness. So how are you taking care of your children's mental fitness? How is your mental fitness? Are you in a space right now in which you're able to see clearly, think clearly, and act clearly in ways that will benefit your children? Something to think about. If you want to learn more about mental fitness, you can message Coach Candy in there. She has a group as well. You can join that group. So you would help. She would help you in your journey to helping your children. So go ahead and message Coach Candy in there. Number 6, appropriate mealtime behaviors. Yan. Have you ever experienced a time in which in the workplace you're so busy and so immersed with what you do, you forget, you start in the morning, then you end in the evening, and you ask yourself, kumain ba ako? Did I eat? And you forgot eating. Then you continuously do this, and eventually you get ulcer. Then you go to the doctor and you pay for it and so on. Buti na lang may Medicard. But imagine if you don't have a Medicard, right? Now, appropriate mealtime behaviors allow you to sufficiently have that energy for you to be, focused, to pay more attention. That you think using eating utensils, chewing with food with your mouth closed para hindi lumilipad, having table manners, being respectful to others. And these are the different things that you're doing. Don't shout at your children when they're not doing what you're expecting. Come on, they're kids. If it is the first time you're doing it, being intentional on teaching them, wag kayo nagagalit. Patience is a virtue in parenting. Like teachers out there, Coach Dohana is a teacher. Patience is all you need for your children to learn in the process. Number 7 is safe and respectful use of technology. Yan, following family and school rules relating to the use of devices, being aware of cyber safety, avoiding high-risk behavior on social media. These are the things that you need to start teaching and educating your children. Hello, Almira. Thank you for joining. Start teaching all of this. And sometimes it gets too uncomfortable because when you're teaching your children, at times your children is just looking at your face with a face that feel that, sometimes you get to judge your children. Master Coach Hazel just reminded us yesterday, don't be quick to judge. Ouch. Yeah. I'm not exempted. Sometimes I judge people. I judge my children too, which I'm working on that every single day because I need to be so intentional and so patient with my children because I know when I was growing up, I'm pretty sure my parents would have a hard time with me. So safe and respectful use of technology. Be respectful. Teach them how to do that, to be safe, to remove themselves from the 7 deadly sins, making sure that you're able to educate them so that they do the right thing for themselves. Not because you're telling them to do it, but it's because they know that they need to do it. They know it in their heart, and their mind is telling them that, hey, let's be in synergy and avoid all of these things at cost that's not serving us. Number 8 is, of course, financial literacy and job search skills. Now, if you want to gain a deeper understanding more of financial literacy, go ahead and message Coach Nordelin Cales there. She's teaching financial, is it financial wellness, Coach Nords? If you could put that in the comment, I would appreciate that. Financial literacy and job search skill. For job search, sorry about that, please message Coach Maureen and Coach Tin De Hoya if you need the help in supporting your children to search for their job. There are HR practitioners. They can help you, with the resumes and find out what's the best route for you to be able to help your children find a great job. Coach Maureen Mystica and Coach Tin De Hoya would help you in there. For financial literacy, Coach Nordelin Cales would be able to help you there. Teach them already to work for an allowance. My children, my daughter specifically, she's 19 years old right now. We taught her to be an entrepreneur, and what she's doing right now, since she's earning on a regular basis, we've taught her the 70 10 rule. 70% is for you, 10% is your savings, 10% is your tithes, 10% is your offering. That's what we're teaching her right now. And right now, she has her savings, she has her tithes, she has her offerings. And what we're teaching her now is to add, I think we're teaching her to utilize the 20% of the income she generates for personal growth, personal learnings, trainings, and what have you. So these are the things that you can continuously do. If you are a parent who has, maybe madami kang utang sa in your credit card, like me, I have those as well. I've experienced those. If you want to learn that, so your children won't go into that downward spiral and won't go into that space in which your children are also struggling with their finances, with their credit cards, with utangs and so on. Teach them early on. But of course, you need to be a product of it. But you don't need to be perfect. You just need to teach them. Teach them, educate them so that they can make the right decisions on how to save, how to purchase within budget, how to look for work, how to apply for jobs. All of these things, life skills, we need that too. We need to teach that. So start teaching. All right? For the teachers out there, teach your children, teach the children that you're teaching. Simple conversation that this works a long way. And of course, coach them. Make sure you're coaching them so that they realize, they reflect, they understand that, hey, I need to do that. That's something that I need to do. On my second to the last, being an informed consumer. With the rise of social media and the rise of marketing, you have a lot of different things that you're seeing in the internet, that they're selling this, you have an ad about this, you're doing this, you just click one link, then eventually your news feed is all about those and so on and so forth. Teach your children to be informed on how and what to consume. Like, what are the things that they would consume that would allow them to grow as an individual, as a person, you know, the things that they would be able to use in the long term. These are the things that we need to start teaching our children. So start doing that. Start teaching them, understanding advertisement, it costs, creating shopping list. My wife is, Coach Tin is very good at this, creates a shopping list. These are the things that we buy and so on. But at times, when we write it down, we forget to bring it. So we think about, what did we list down? Yeah. So teach them all of those things so that when they carry it, they have a list of things that would help them. And it's not just because you're thinking about the price, you're also saving on time. Because when you're consuming something, it also consumes your time. So be intentional, right? And last but not the least, of course, the things that are not being talked about openly to our children is relationship and sexuality education. Forming healthy relationship with others, forming healthy relationship with future partner, dating, sexual anatomy, sexual identity, conveying healthy attitude towards sexual activity, contraception, consent, and pornography. The age right now, there's just a lot of not so great things in the internet that unfortunately as parents we're not able to filter. We're not able to filter what they're seeing. We're not able to filter what conversations they're having. And talking about sex in relationship in our children is not something that everyone is comfortable. It's a taboo thing. But when are you gonna have that conversation? Like for myself, I didn't really have that moment in when I was growing up, having a conversation with my father about sex. And that's the reason why I got a kid when I was 19 years old. So if we can start teaching our children about relationship and sexuality education, it just changes the way that our children sees things. The way that our children sees, themselves, and the way that they see, relationship. That they can be intentional too with what they're doing. They can ask themselves as well of what the kind of relationship that they want. And the intention of doing things that they would do. That they would ask themselves first rather than utilizing their emotions to make a decision. We make decisions based on our emotions, then we explain that based on our logic. So there's a disconnect. But if when we're able to create a synergy in there, that helps a lot in the way that we have a conversation. Recently, my daughter is 19 years old and she has a boyfriend. And I consistently have this conversation with her and also with the boyfriend to understand the things that they're doing and their actions and so on so that they can make the right decisions. Not to limit what they do, but to understand and be intentional about the actions that they do. It can happen. You can teach it without being so controlling, without being so overprotective, without being reactive about what you see. So be intentional. Of course, what I didn't add here is the spirituality. Knowing God, understanding the words. Because these are the things that you can start helping your children to make the right decisions. So, how can I teach my children without overparenting? Have you ever asked this question? How can I teach my children the right skills, the life skills, and knowledge without overparenting them? I'll give you what works for me. And of course, you can ask, you can message all of the coaches who's been sharing in there their experience. But one of the things that has helped me well for the past 3 years of becoming a certified life coach is really becoming a life coach. Life coaching has allowed me to see my children in a different perspective. It has also allowed me to see my life in a different perspective. As a man, not a lot of men would ask or seek for help. But in coaching, that paved a way for me to be more intentional about the kind of relationship that I have. So, how can you teach your children, without overparenting? This is the most simplest way that I can share to you what you can do is be certified as a life coach. Join Master Coach A's co-actively co-create life coach certification program. Gain a deeper understanding more of what life coaching is and how you can utilize life coaching to be a parent, to be an effective parent, to be partnering with your children. Countless of children are struggling right now because they're unable to express themselves to their parents. And it's unfortunate because with the lack of connection with their children, the children would find other medium and other ways for them to be able to express themselves. And unfortunately, the people that they talk to don't know well, they're children too. So if you want to help your children make the right decisions from themselves, have the right mindset, have the right skills, have the right knowledge, have the right experience, have the right wisdom, invest in yourself, get certified. This is the most, I tell you, when you go through this and when you become certified, it just changes the way that you see things. And as a parent, coaching will help establish positive relationship with your family. Positive relationship. Focusing on what's working rather than what's not. It also helps you improve lines of communication, which we all need. I've shared that a while ago that communication is one of the biggest barriers on why parents or children are not emotionally invested. It also allows you to build confidence and self efficacy in parents and children because you're more confident expressing yourself. You don't have to hide. Your children doesn't have to hide. They can express freely because they know that you won't judge them. And of course, develop problem solving skills and creativity skills. That's the power of life coaching. Those are the things that I gave me. Life coaching taught me to be kinder, not just to my children, but also to be kinder to myself. Because the reason why, for me anyway, parents would, have this outburst of emotions is because they're not able to manage themselves. And being able to manage yourself is understanding yourself. So choose to start being intentional about your decisions. Kaya, it can happen. But of course, you cannot do it alone. You cannot solve your own problem that in the first place you created. You cannot. And that is where the power of life coaching comes in. Thank you, Almira. It's difficult not to overparent when you're a product of it. Yeah, I agree. But acknowledging the fact of it is a baby step to improving ourselves as a parent, and continuous learning is important. Just like this. Yes, yes, that's true. What you've shared right now, Almira. That's a bold step already. Um, I've learned that one of the biggest things that I needed to do as a man specifically is to acknowledge that I made a mistake, I am not perfect, and I need help. And just changes the way that I see my life and I see perspective. And going through these classes helps a lot. Super helps a lot. So thank you for being here. I hope you're able to bless others as well as you have conversations. Let's bless more people in the digital space. So this is how you can be helped if you go through the life coaching process, if you get certified as a life coach. Now, if you feel that, coach, maybe for me right now, I might need to think about if life coaching is for me. Well, if your life coaching is yet to be a decision for you, want to move forward with that, maybe you need a coach. This is a checklist that I can share to you of how do you know if you need a coach. At least it would help you make a decision on how to get a coach. Number one, if you have or your children have behavior problems and you wanted to find an effective ways to address issues such as aggression, sibling rivalry, or defiance, life coaching, a parent coach would help you. If there are stress related concerns on your end and issues, maybe at times you get, to shout at them, you get to spank them, but you want to stop them because you feel guilt afterwards. Finding a life coach or having a life coach would find ways to take care of yourself and manage your stress. Developmental activities also would help you in life coaching, would create you or help you. A life coach would help you create strategies that support your physical, emotional, and social development. Yun nga, yung mental fitness. We're talking about mental fitness from Coach Candy. And parenting would allow you to help you with transitions. Transition not just with having kids. It's also transition with your kid going to, teenager, going to college, going to having work. Also transition with you finding work, maybe you quitting work. These are the things that you need help as a parent because you need to be able to overcome crisis and hardships. And lastly, practical problems that would allow you to create plans to address childhood issues or educational problems. It helps a lot. My son is having challenges with math. Nagmanage siya sa akin. I also have challenges with math. And one of the things that we've observed is his grade is line of 7. But during those times, we were too advising him, telling him what to do, bombarding him with the different things. And actually, naawa kami sa bata. And that's why we changed in life coaching. And eventually, when we started to coach him, I tell you, his grades improved. And we were not that anymore so angry at him when his grades are low. I mean, we were proud of him. Even a 1% improvement in the grade is something to celebrate. Don't be conformed with this world. Just be thankful that your child is there, alive, you're able to see them thrive and work on that, and you're able to be there still to protect them and support them. So take a look at this checklist. If you've checked one of this, then you need a parent coach. If you need support, just let us know. You can message me. I'm happy to help you with your parent as a parent coach. That's something that I do, and that's something that I help with. Coach Tin is also a parent coach, and you can help in your progress. I know Coach Joanna as well is doing in parenting, and Coach Marife as well. So if you need parenting coaches, just feel free to message one of us so we can help you and support you. Again, inviting you to join us in the Coactively Co-Create Life Coaching Certification Program. It's a 21-day journey. It's a powerful journey for you to be able to have a deeper understanding of what you need to do and what you need for what you can move forward to. Connect with Coach Rizal. You see there, Coach Rizal Sanchez. Yeah, Rizal Sanchez. Message her, or the number is you see in the screen, 0917-586-1661. Or if you're not ready to have a conversation yet, a verbal conversation, you can feel free to email Coach A at connect@mastercoacha.com. You know, the good thing about this as well, once you get certified as a life coach, you already have the necessary tools, trainings, and materials, what have you. You can join the group or the paid membership group of Master Coach A, which is the Coach A Coaching Upskills Blueprint Circle. So, hindi mo na kailangan maghanap-hanap kung saan-saan pa. If you just want to focus on true blue authentic coaching, we have that as well for you. Message Coach Rizal. If you are a coach watching right now, please join the upskill. I tell you, there's just a lot of different things that you can utilize there. Toolkits that you can teach your children. I'm using all of my toolkits there to teach my children financials, managing stress and what have you. Those are the things that I use for my children, and it helps a lot. All right? So, thank you very much for joining me for the last 50 minutes of your time. Maraming salamat for being here. Would also like to invite, I would also like to invite you to join us later for another episode of coaching, for another coaching conversation later with Coach Nords at 2 p.m. for coaching for intentional living. So, 2 p.m., same page. Alas dos po, Coach Nords will be talking about coaching for intentional living. And at 4 p.m., it's going to be Coach Phoebe for coaching for self-literacy. 4 p.m., same page. Tune in, get more learning in there. And again, if you want to join us as a certified professional life coach, Coactively Co-Create Life Coaching Certification Program. This is the most comprehensive approach to learning and mastering life coaching as an active process of creating a new path to achieving results in life so that success is inevitable in every coaching relationship. What you will get out of this is a 21-day web-based learning, a 3-day live coaching bootcamp with Master Coach A, and a 3-day live business bootcamp. So if you want to monetize this, yes, you can monetize this. If you want to transition from your current job and do full-time life coaching, you can. Just connect with Coach Rizal, 0917-586-1661. You see the number in there. You will get other bonuses as well and perks. There is a lot of things, opportunities awaiting for you for this profession. And again, Coach Rizal, 0917-586-1661. You see there, Coach Duhana sharing her experience as well as a parent and as a certified and professional life coach. And once again, thank you very much for joining me. I am Coach Shaun Joya from Life Coach Philippines. For Coaching Think Talk, coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us in the Philippines. Thank you very much for joining us. Love, bam, boom. Love, bam, boom. Love, bam, boom. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Bye-bye.